Welcome back to part 2 of Belief Decoded. In the previous episode, we exposed how your brain tricks you into believing horoscopes using psychology and the Barnum effect. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, pause this video and click the card above right now. You really need to understand the mind before you can understand the stars. But if you are ready for the truth, let's talk about the sky. You woke up this morning knowing exactly who you are. Maybe you are a Leo, bold, proud, and fiery. Maybe you are a Scorpio, intense, mysterious, and secretive. You read your horoscope, you check your compatibility, and it all makes sense. It's part of your identity. But what if I told you that you have been lied to your entire life? What if I told you that when you look up at the sky, the stars are not where your horoscope says they are? In 2016, the internet exploded with a rumor. NASA has changed the Zodiac signs. Panic spread. People were freaking out that they were no longer Geminis or Virgos. NASA eventually came out and clarified. We didn't change the signs. We just did the math. And the math is terrifying for astrology. According to astronomers, 86% of you are living a lie. You are reading the wrong horoscope, checking the wrong predictions, and basing your personality on a constellation that wasn't even there when you were born. Today, we are going to expose the cosmic glitch that astrologers don't want you to know about and uncover the dark, drug-fueled history behind the world's most famous prophecies. Let's start with the biggest elephant in the room. The zodiac system we use today, Western astrology, was codified by the Babylonians and Greeks about 2,000 to 3,000 years ago. They looked at the sky on the first day of spring, March 21st, and saw the sun rising in the constellation of Aries. So they made Aries the first sign. It was a perfect system back then. But the ancients missed one tiny detail. The Earth is not a stable rock. It is a spinning top. And like any spinning top, it wobbles. This wobble is called the precession of the equinoxes. It is very slow. One full wobble takes 26,000 years, but it is relentless. Because of this wobble, the Earth's viewing angle of the stars has shifted by about 24 degrees since the zodiac was invented. That means the sky has moved backward by almost a full month. So if you were born on August 1st, astrology says you are a Leo. You are supposed to be ruled by the sun in the lion. But if you actually get a telescope and look at the sun on August 1st, it is not in Leo. It is in Cancer. You are not a lion. You are a crab. This isn't a matter of opinion. This is geometry. Western astrology is a map of a sky that hasn't existed for 2,000 years. It is like trying to navigate New York City using a map from ancient Rome. But the precession isn't the only problem. There is a secret hidden in the dark part of the sky. A secret called the 13th sign. When the Babylonians created the zodiac, they wanted a neat, clean calendar. They had 12 months, so they wanted 12 signs. But the sun actually passes through 13 constellations, not 12. They deliberately deleted the 13th constellation to make the math easier. That constellation is called Ophiuchus, the serpent bearer. And here is the most embarrassing fact for modern astrology. The sun spends more time in the deleted sign than it does in some of the famous ones. Look at Scorpio. Astrology tells us Scorpio is a powerful, dominant sign. In reality, the sun passes through the constellation of Scorpio for only 7 days, November 23 to November 29. But the sun stays in Ophiuchus for 18 days, November 29 to December 17th. So, if you were born in early December, you are not a Sagittarius. You are an Ophiuchian. You belong to a sign that was erased from history because the number 13 was unlucky and didn't fit into a perfect circle. The ultimate test, the time twins. Now, I hear the skeptics. You might say, I don't care about where the stars are physically. Astrology is about the energy, not the geometry. Fair enough. Let's test the energy. If astrology is real, then two people born at the exact same time and place should have the exact same destiny. They should have similar personalities, similar careers, and similar lives. These are called time twins. In 2003, researchers Jeffrey Dean and Ivan Kelly conducted the most massive study on this topic in history. They tracked 2,101 babies born in London, born just minutes apart from each other. They followed these time twins for decades. They measured everything: their IQ, their anxiety levels, their marital status, their jobs, and their artistic abilities. According to astrology, these people should be cosmic clones. The result? 0. The correlation was 0.00. The time twins were no more similar than two random strangers picked off the street. One became a CEO, the other a janitor. One was happy, the other was divorced. One was an artist, the other was a scientist. This study is the scientific nail in the coffin. It proved that the cosmic lottery doesn't exist. The moment of your birth does not seal your fate. If the science is so clear, why do we still believe? Why have humans been obsessed with fortune-telling for thousands of years? The answer lies in our history. But the history of divination isn't magical. It's actually kind of dark. And sometimes hilarious. Let's look at tarot cards. Today, people think tarot is ancient Egyptian wisdom. But historically, it was just a card game for bored rich kids. In 15th century Italy, it was called trionfi. It was the bridge or poker of its day. The death card wasn't a prophecy. It was just a trump card in the game. It wasn't until the 1700s that a French occultist named Antoine Court de Gebelin made up the Egyptian connection. He invented the myth, and we are still playing his game today. Or take the most famous psychic in human history, the Oracle of Delphi. For 1,000 years, kings and emperors traveled to Greece to ask the priestess for advice. She would sit over a crack in the earth, inhale sacred vapors, and speak with the voice of the god Apollo. But in the 1990s, geologists discovered the truth. The temple was built directly over two intersecting fault lines. The sacred vapor wasn't magic. It was ethylene gas. Ethylene is a sweet-smelling petrochemical that causes hallucinations. The high priestess wasn't channeling a god. She was getting high on toxic gas fumes leaking from the basement. And it gets weirder. The Romans used sacred chickens to decide when to go to war. If the chickens ate the grain, they attacked. If the chickens refused to eat, they canceled the battle. One Roman general, angry that the chickens wouldn't eat, threw them into the ocean, screaming, "If they won't eat, let them drink." He lost the battle, by the way. Conclusion: the pen is in your hand. So where does this leave us? We have looked at the psychology in part 1 and the astronomy in part 2. We know that the brain tricks us with the Barnum effect. We know the sky has shifted due to precession. We know the time twins live completely different lives. Does this destroy the magic of the world? I don't think so. I think it liberates us. If the stars controlled your life, you would be a prisoner. You would be stuck in a script written billions of miles away by balls of burning gas. But because the stars don't control you, you are free. The fact that you are not a Leo or a Scorpio means you are not defined by a label. You are defined by your choices. The future isn't written in the constellations, and it isn't hidden in a deck of playing cards. The future is a blank page, and you are the only one holding the pen. If you enjoyed this 2-part journey into the unknown, make sure to like and subscribe to Belief Decoded. We have decoded the stars. But there are many more mysteries waiting in the dark. Until then, keep looking up, but keep your feet on the ground.